Are you lucky I
Right.
get a phone
So
call?
I wanted us to discuss. I wanted us to discuss something that is called office etiquette, and it's really how you behave in an office, a workplace, or in your instance, an institution, a training institution. And some of the things discussed here, you probably already know it, but I just need to reinforce it with you just to ensure that you have an idea of what is expected. So the purpose of this is to define office etiquette and stress the importance of creating a work environment conducive to personal, positive interaction among employees, to identify behaviors considered important for maintaining workplace ethics. Now, what is etiquette? Etiquette is a French word which means ticket, and it's kind of weird that you're using etiquette to describe behavior. On important occasion, a ticket of instruction was issued to the masses detailing what they should do. Thus, the ticket enlists the rules of well-mannered behavior observed in a polite society. Now, in a professional sense, this includes behavior towards clients and colleagues, which is in the best interest. So, all in all, etiquette means really your behavior in a particular situation, in a particular setting. So, there is etiquette with regards to how you treat diplomats. If you have a prime minister or a president coming in to Grenada, the foreign services would have a particular way that they deal with those people. That's called foreign services etiquette. Some of you all have home etiquette, how you're expected to behave, how you expect your children to behave, how you expect your siblings to behave. That's called your home etiquette. Every home has a different way of doing things. Everybody have different values. Now, etiquette is sometimes measured by people's values. So people behave in a certain way based on what value they hold close to them. So as we just saw in the session, some people would hold commitment as a value, so they would behave in a certain way. Some people would hold honesty as a value, so they would behave a certain way, which some people don't see honesty as being a main value. They would be dishonest in all the dealings. There are some people who value privacy. So you may work with somebody who value privacy and don't want to be in the business, while some people don't value privacy, so then everybody's business. So it's all about values and your value system and what you hold dear to you. Now, how does etiquette benefit you, or how does it benefit your employer, your employees, your colleagues? It helps smooth the wheels of daily interaction in the office. Good work outcomes and happy coexistence, in a mutual dislike and disinterest environment. Ensure that you don't become office enemy number one. Modifies distracting behaviors and develops admired conduct. Enables you to be confident in a variety of settings with a variety of people. Now, all this is saying is how does people having proper etiquette benefit the work environment? So let's put yourself in a situation where you work somewhere and the place is just in chaos. People do what they want, they say what they want. You'll be very stressed. Nobody wants to work in that environment. So that is why there are certain rules and regulations that offices have. There are general office etiquette rules that you must observe. And of course, every organization would have its own culture. For example, the culture of the private service, of the private sector in dealing with customers is sort of different to customer service in the public sector. That's true, right? The culture is different. So in the private sector, you walk into the building, for example, you walk into Flow and you have somebody saying, "Welcome to Flow." You have somebody saying, "Welcome to Digicel." You walk into the bank. Most time, somebody would come to you and ask you, "How can I help you?" or things like that. Now, if you walk into the public sector, it's sort of different. And most people say the public sector have no customer service because you walk in to pay your tax or something. Nobody comes to you and asks you and say, "Good morning," right? You go up to the counter, you pay your tax. If you need to find out something, you find out. So the culture is different, but the office etiquette remains the same. So what bothers employees most in the office and in the workplace environment and in the training environment? Persons who have poor personal hygiene. And poor personal hygiene means here somebody, not somebody who spends the day in school or spend the day working and they come and they smell a little sweaty. That's I wouldn't consider that very poor personal hygiene. Somebody sweat a lot, I sweat a lot, I have a very bad perspiration. So if I don't use roller and cologne, I would smell like a ram goat. So some persons are just like that. But some people, personal hygiene, first thing in the morning you come and you could tell that that person probably didn't take a shower or something like that. So good personal hygiene is very, very important in the office or in your working environment, in your training environment. People who don't clean up after using utensils. So if you're working somewhere, you're training somewhere and there's a kitchen and somebody uses it and they don't wash the sink after, they don't wash the plates, they don't wash the cups, that annoys people and that bothers people. And that is very poor office etiquette. Leave trash and personal belonging in other people's workplaces. Like the person on Friday who left the box with chips on the table, that's very, very poor workplace etiquette. If you carry trash in, you need to either go with it or put it in the waste basket or whatever that is made available for you, right? Then you have the frequent complainers. Now, I'm not sure if you would have worked with people who just like to complain or go to school with or do courses with or in a group with people who like to complain. In teamwork, we call them bacchanalists. They just like to complain and they find everything to complain about and they just nag and they come to work and they vex because it's Monday and you pass by them and you look at them and they're cussing. Well, why are you watching me so this early morning? You have people like that just annoy the hell out of you in an office environment. That is poor office etiquette. There are some people who don't acknowledge you unless you speak to them directly. And you get that in every workplace. There is those type of people. They come to work, they sit, and they have nothing to say to you unless you speak to them directly. So you're speaking to a group of persons, and they are supposed to be part of it, but they are not going to speak to you. Wear clothing that is dirty, too casual, or distracting in some ways. And on that point, I probably have to speak about about persons coming to class with slippers. Please hold on the slippers. Unless it's a Gucci or Jordan that costs past $200, leave the slippers home, please.
Yeah, you're serious? I'm a poor man. I don't have this kind of thing. I come with what I can afford.
Nah, don't come with slippers. Don't come with slippers.
I never come with slippers. I come with sandals.
Wear clothing that is dirty, too casual, or distracted in some other ways. Now, some workplaces have uniform that you wear, some don't. But I don't think I need to go deep into, as a matter of fact, I do. Now, as you know, at the end of the course, probably let's say around May, early June, everyone who's doing the course would go on internship for 4 to 6 weeks. Now, when you go on internship, you would be a reflection of Ceep and reflection of your trainers. So a little later on, we'll speak a little bit more based on where you'll be going about your dress code and your work attire. Now, because you're doing technical skills, for example, you're doing full stack and you're doing graphic designs, most people don't dress up to do those jobs. They wear polo, they wear a jeans or whatever, while some people expect you to dress a certain way. So, for example, if somebody would be going to do their internship in Grenada Tourism Authority, you'll be expected to wear soft pants and a soft skirt. If somebody going in, let's say, science and designs, you'll just wear probably a jeans or a polo. So later on, we'll explain to you what the dress code is for the particular place and area where you'll be doing your internship. But I want you to pay particular attention to that. Employees are bothered by coworkers who flirt with coworkers or clients. And this is a big issue in the Caribbean. In the Caribbean, men believe that you have female employees, that the duty is yours to try to get some, behaving like cartel. That a new worker comes into the office, a new worker comes into the business, and you feel you're cartel and you need to vibes. In the US,
can I say something on that?
Fresh meat, man. Fresh meat.
Hold on.
Okay.
As you see, sexual harassment is not taken lightly and it's getting more and more, becoming more and more of an issue that women are unwilling to accept. So in the US and those places, when you had the You had things like you have things like the Me Too movement, which started some time ago. So you see big men like Epstein and so on being accused of sexual harassment, and before these things were not a big issue. But now it's a big issue. In Grenada, it's a big issue. If you look at the front page of the New Today newspaper, you will see the Prime Minister's chief security is on the front page because he's been accused of sexually harassing a woman who went to see the Prime Minister. So these things are becoming issues. Women are no longer sitting down and accept this type of behaviors. You know, I come to work, I come to make money, to take care of my family, to take care of myself, not to be harassed by some ugly man in the office who can't get a woman and think he must trouble me. Right? That's the general consensus of women these days. So I just want to speak to the guys about that. About
Yes, I
flirting.
think you should, honestly. With your male students, it's not nice. It's not even attractive anymore.
I don't know what you could ever say.
It was attractive.
I would like to say something on that. You
No,
know,
it
No,
was
hold
never
on. We'll speak
attractive.
after. We'll speak after. Right. So someone
Right,
just spoke.
somebody don't
So
harass
guys,
women.
please.
Hey, listen.
Good. People are dropping employees who come by you and start speaking and interrupting you from doing your work and not asking if they should, especially those that like to gossip. And that is across both sex. That's across both sex, right? Both male and female. So if you think only female gossip, you have it wrong. Nowadays, male gossiping worse than the female. So dropping
That's
into
facts.
somebody's workspace and start gossiping, etc., is unacceptable in office ethics. Habitually arrive late at meetings and class. Habitually arrive late. I could understand, let's say I employ you and you're working for me. Today you have to drop your kid to school. Tomorrow the bus was late. But if you come in late every single day, that is what they mean by habitually arriving late every single day. Right? We just spoke about gossip. People, let me just go back a little. In the Caribbean, we have a culture of friends or co-workers becoming our best friends. So people go to work and you start a job somewhere, you start a new job somewhere, and all of a sudden you become best friends with this particular clique. In every workplace, there's a clique. There's 2 or 3 persons who lime, there's this next 2 or 3 persons who lime, and all of a sudden you become good friends and all the liming together every weekend, and you're going out and you know one get pregnant, they have a child, and next thing you hear the next one is the godchild of that child. That's okay. Culturally, we're a small place, everybody knows everybody. But I'll say this, your workplace is for you to work. Your colleagues are not your friends. You go to work, you earn your money, and you get back home.
Exactly.
And the reason why I say that is when you do this, you have less office drama. So you have a lot of places that have office drama. This one used to talk to this one, they no longer talk to this one, they talk to this one, and this one says something about this one, then this one fighting on this one for promotion, and you have all these drama that you have in the office place. So I'll simply say to you that you don't join a clique. And strangely, for a lot of young people going into the world of work, they seem to join the wrong clique. So you go to a workplace and there is 2 cliques. For example, in the schools, I used to be a part of the Mani program, and I used to get a lot of problems with some people going into the school system. Because you go as a teacher in the school, as a trainee, hoping that you get permanent. And instead of joining the clique that likes and supports the principal, they're joining the clique that don't like the principal. So they're joining the group that don't like the principal, have the worst to say about the principal, fighting with the principal, and then at the end of the day expect the principal to recommend them to get permanent in the school. So it's like some people, you go on internship, and the goal of your internship is to at least be good in your job so the person would see that you're good and keep you permanent. But you join the wrong clique. You join the complainers who complain about everything. They complain about salary, the sky is too blue, the grass is too green. And you join them and you expect the business place to keep you permanent. So I say all of this to tell you, choose your cliques wisely. As a matter of fact, you shouldn't choose cliques. You go to work, work, earn your money, go
Get
back
along
home.
with everybody, yeah. By yourself.
Then there are people who borrow things and never return it. Please, as much as possible, try not to borrow from your coworkers because it never ends well. Somebody's going to make you shame because you can't pay back. So try, if you need to lend something, try to do it from family members and not so much from coworkers and people that you work with. Then a serious issue with Grenada, and not just in the office, but on the bus, in the bank, everywhere, speaking too loudly on the phone. And to be more specific, speaking too loudly on the cellular phone, as some people call it. This is probably the pet peeve of a lot of people. This is probably the pet peeve of a lot of people. People who have. Can you mute your mics, please? Right, and the use of cell phone at work. Now, some places ban cell phones altogether, so you can't use a cell phone at work. While some they have rules regarding cell phones. Now, depending on where you go for internship or depending on where you work, and as, probably I should say that in class you're not supposed to be using your cell phone. The cell phone's supposed to be off on vibrate or put in your bag or something. The habitual use of cell phone is not permitted in most business places in Grenada. So I just thought I'd tell you that. So let's just go over some points in etiquette. Be punctual, dress appropriately, stay away from gossip. And I want to raise that again. Staying away from gossip in the office. It's not gonna get you very far. It's not gonna get you. It might get you a promotion because I've seen some people who gossip and they get promotion, but it's not gonna do you very well when you get up there because probably that might be the only skill you have to bring news and gossip. And when people get tired of that, they're gonna see your true colors, and then you're gonna probably lose the promotion or whatever. Office gossip in Grenada is very terrible. People all up in your business. You're not telling them, but they go in and find out. Please, students of Ceep, when we send you on internship, I don't want to hear anybody come back and say that we can't keep this person because this person gossiping. Who the boss they with or who he going by in the night is none of your business to discuss in the office. Ask before borrowing. We spoke about that. Basic rules. Saying please, thank you, you're welcome, apologizing for doing something wrong or making a mistake are still common courtesies. But so for some reason, we have lost that a lot. So people tend to say please less. They tend to say thank you less. You do something for someone and I just grab it and they're gone. Apologize and say you're welcome. Good? Any questions so far?
No.
Yeah, yeah, I have a comment,
Yes.
and it will mix up together with a question. Sometimes there's people. Let's start with male or female, right? A female will come to a male, or a male will come to a female, and because the male or the female is friendly to the person, the way they interpretate it is like maybe that person like that person. So what they do, they reject the person because you are being too nice. So they automatically think that that person, that male, like that female, but he don't really like the female. He's not even thinking about it. But the way some people think, or the way they was treated in their life, or whatever you want to say, what they experience in their life, and someone be nice to them, or someone come and try to have a conversation and say, hi, what's going on? Automatically they think that, okay, this guy is coming, he's flirting, but he's not, because you don't have his mind, or you don't have her mind. So sometimes people get rejected in job place because of that. So I want to know what you have to say on that.
I'll say this: a male being friendly, a woman should be or would be able to spot out a male who is being friendly as opposed to a man who is flirting, right?
And that's facts.
You're going to
That's
the
big
you're
facts.
going to the same class or you're going to the same workplace. A guy's friendly, he's willing to help you, he pitch a joke. I mean, by nature, men and women when they meet in these type of settings, by nature, men are always looking for courtship. They're always looking for. I mean, a man have to look for a woman. The Bible says you have to go find a wife. Blah 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 blah. So a man would always be, especially if he's single, he's looking for a woman. So he sees one that he likes, and he decides he wants to throw a net like cartel, and he gets through, maybe not. But there are boundaries. So I meet you in a class, and I don't know you. We crack a joke. We're probably in the same group. We crack a joke. We make a laugh. We share numbers. We chat. And guys these days probably lost the technique of quoting. So we share numbers.
Why
We
bokeh
talk
some
for
juice
a
boy?
day. Then on the second day,
Keskan,
you send me
why
a
bokeh
kind of
some juice?
picture, and we have that happening a lot. You send me, let's say, a private pic, and when I get vexed, you delete it and say, "Oops, sorry." That's not being friendly. That's flirting. That's straight out flirting, and it happens a lot. And you share a number, or you share your Facebook name or your Instagram name, and the person in your DM, morning, noon, and night, all kind of questions. They want to know what you're wearing, what you're doing. And in Grenada, we have a way of asking if you're single or not. You'll say, "Let me not say that because I don't want the man bust your head." But what I really want to know is if you're single. So these kind of questions start coming. Definitely is
Like
not
that line.
friendly. It's
Like that line.
breaking. It's going beyond boundaries and start floating. So that is what we're speaking about. There is no problem in people being friendly. I'm very friendly with all the females where I work. As a matter of fact, I can say all kind of things that they know I'm not. I'm not serious about it. I'm joking. But there are some people that I know. There's some males in the class. I know you're flirting.
Yes.
You see, that's the thing. That's the
You
thing.
know, you make a
But
joke, you
Edwin,
talk, you make a joke. But
I
if
have a,
you want to stretch your tongue and wink your eye and do all kind of thing, that goes beyond being friendly.
I have a
Yes.
question.
And want to ask you all your business about how a beautiful girl like you still single and all
Yes,
this years.
they're really outside, I know.
My house your mouth because I like it.
This ugly boy and them trying to
Any
make
other
me respect
question?
for you.
Any other question?
Sell out.
Yeah. I just wanna, it's not a question, right? But I just wanna show them, like let them know how severe that is. Because I was not in that situation, but I witnessed this situation where a lady, she brought up another female for sexual harassment. And it wasn't black people, it was white people. So they on a whole different level when it comes to sexual harassment. So like guys, you really need to be careful when it comes to that. A whole nother level.
Definitely. Definitely. Anybody else? Any other questions or comment?
Sure, I can hit you with the next one. I don't mind because I have been working for the last 12 years. I work with a lot of difficult people, and I'm still working with a lot of difficult people, and I have a lot of experience with a lot of crazy people working in the workplace. So I will hit all you with something else again, since nobody else don't want to come in. In a workplace, there's the type of people, like just like you say, like the clique that you talk about. There is not like they're. I'm not saying that they're immature. I'm not saying that they're disrespectful. They will come next to you. They will they wouldn't have nothing. They wouldn't have not much to say. But the second you turn your face away, you will see them peeping you from your head to your toe. and you will know the fact when someone is pretending to be your friend in a workplace, you know. So they will smile and talk, but you see that that person is pretending to be a friend. So things like that will cause, so in my position, let's say someone is pretending to be my friend and I notice that you notice these things in workplace. So when you get an opportunity, so it builds enemies in people and they hold that against you. So the moment that you have an opportunity to take it against them, you take that opportunity because they think that you don't notice, but you notice, but you just smile in your mind and you're just waiting for your opportunity, you know. So this is something I don't know how will you explain that in a workplace, because it does happen.
Hello?
You get what I'm saying?
Hello?
Like he gone again.
Sorry, you hearing me?
Yes, I
Right. So I was saying you have all different people coming
yeah.
from different places working in a workplace. Some workplaces are bigger than some, but the diversity that exists is really the same. So you have people from St. Andrews who behave a certain way to people from St. John's who behave a certain way from people from St. Patrick's or St. David's or Carriacou. Then you have people with different personalities. Then you have people with different socioeconomic backgrounds. Some people are better off than some. Some people would look a certain way because they are able to afford. So you work in an office with 5 persons, and that one person who comes to the office don't really dress up or don't talk about going to fetes or don't talk about going to parties on a weekend because they simply can't afford it. They have kids to send to school and things like that. So people coming from different socioeconomic backgrounds, geographic locations. People in St. Patrick thinks a different way to people in St. George's. People in Carriacou think very differently to people in Grenada. People from Carriacou are very straightforward and they tell you things as it is. They don't put baskets in, and as we say, they don't put them out in basket. So if you come to office and you're smelling bad, somebody from Carriacou is going to tell you. That's how they are. I deal with them every day. Whereas somebody from St. Andrew, they might be more reserved. They might not tell you they're more conservative in that area. People from St. Patrick are a little more conservative. So you have all these things in the office. And as I said, you don't go to the office to make friends. So you shouldn't care who your friend is or who wants to be friend with you. You go to work, they're your colleague. There's a difference between colleague and friend. The only person you're supposed to impress in the office is your boss. Or that's the person who pays you or ensures that you get paid. So you're not supposed to be friends to say this person is no longer my friend and they look at you and they turn up your nose, no problem. You're in the
Suppose I
office
have a
from 8
question.
to 4, from 9 to 5. You work, you do what you do, and you leave. Somebody, yes, right then.
My question is, how do you deal with let's say someone in your workplace that has a hygiene problem and you have to work around them? How do you deal with that? Like you're in the same office, so to speak, with that person. Let's say it's like 4 or 3 guys. But no
Well,
one
the thing with that is people don't take it nicely, and while your intentions might be good, the person might not take the intentions well. They might see you as being the enemy, especially in today's society. When you're trying to do good, you're seen as a bad person. But the best way to do it is
Yeah.
privately, not loud or in front of everybody. Very private. It could be a WhatsApp
Okay.
message just between you and the person. You could just send them a WhatsApp message. Hey, I'm not saying this to make you feel bad, but it's something I could look at and offer solutions, offer recommendations. So you don't just say this is issue that you have, but here is a solution that you could do. For example, I was saying I know personally I have a very high perspiration, and if I don't use roll on, and not any roll on, I only use Shore. Because if I don't use show and I use those Indians to roll on, by time 12 o'clock I'm smelling like Billy Goat. So I know what I have to do for myself. So I would advise somebody on the same thing. And then you don't use the $8 cologne that they have by the Indian store on them. If you need to buy something, you buy a cologne proper. So when you sweat and so on. So that's one way.
About that, right? Let's say you speak to the person privately, right? And they say they'll change, so to speak, or do something about it. But really and truly, they just can't be bothered because they don't really care, so to speak, as to how they smell.
Well, they're not smelling
You see,
themselves.
How do you deal with that?
Well, the most you can do is if you offer friendly advice, as I said, if you speak to them privately about it, that's probably the most you can do about it and offer a recommendation.
So if that
If it
doesn't work,
continues, probably it's it's a socio-economic issue. How do I budget between buying a roll-on and buying a pound of rice for my child? You know, some people have to deal with that. Believe it or not, it sounds weird, but it's issues that people deal with every day. Or do I buy a cologne for $50 when that money could go towards buying milk? So there are many issues, or probably it's a biological or medical issue. So there could be a multitude of issues that causing that. So the most you can do is advise the person, and that's about it.
No,
Yeah,
well, sometimes you
that's true.
just, because I've been in that situation before, and what
likewise.
I become friends with a person, and I let them understand. I let them understand. Hey, I remember my days when I used to play tennis, and I used to use all cheap roll-on, and when I turn in 2 hours time, I started to smell like a goat. Uh, and when you say things like that to people, you will put them in a comfort zone where you do it to yourself and let them understand what you experience. And when the fact that you experience it and you notice that they are experiencing, you will put them in a comfort zone and they will be like, okay, all right, I understand what you're saying. You could just
So
become.
basically, you're gonna lie to comfort the person.
No, I mean, it's truth. It's the truth. If you have everyone, I'm sure that everyone probably have that experience, because sometimes you
Wait,
change the
no.
roll on and then you realize that the roll on don't working good and you're smelling old, so you have to try to get a new one or a different one. Yeah, I'm sure everybody experienced that already.
After training.
All right, so Mr. Thomas, right? Alvin,
Yeah,
right? So what
right,
if your Roland is the person's issue, right?
right,
You spoke to them about it, and
right,
they know the Roland is the issue, right?
right.
But they still
Answer
decide to
them.
themselves that they're going to use that same Roland until it's done. How would you deal with that knowing you spoke to them about it
So
already?
we wouldn't reach
Hey,
there.
the
We
people
wouldn't
don't have
reach there.
money.
Buy one for them.
Well, you see that's what I mentioned. Socioeconomic conditions are some people. I don't want us to get too deep because we have to move on. But it's different people have different socioeconomic conditions. Some people have biological issues. Some people have cosmetic issues. Cosmetic here meaning that the roll-on they use. I mean, you could use your mouthwash, use everything in the day, and by the time the end of the day, you eat something that is full of garlic and onion, and you have a breath, right? So it doesn't
Yeah.
mean that you didn't do what you're supposed to do in the morning, but during the day you ate whatever, or you have an inactive colon and those type of things. So it's all about understanding your own body, understanding your own self, and what you need to take care of yourself. And probably if you have people around you, I mean, some people will tell you about it in the harshest of ways. So when I was going to school, I grew up with my grandmother, and she would tell you, come out and play in the evening, and she come up and she, no, don't sit on the couch. You're smelling like a goat. Go and bathe. You know them kind of thing. So you have people like that who don't really cultured enough to tell you how it is, so they'll tell you in a certain way. But all in all, as to answer your question, you speak to the person privately, and you
You
don't
guys
just
don't
speak
want
to them
anything to
about
drink?
it. You offer recommendations.
I find we use the Roland situation as an example, but buying a Roland for somebody personally, I find that as disrespectful.
Why is it
Exactly.
disrespectful?
Who is you to come and bring a Roland for me? Why
No,
trying to tell me? I'm
it's
sick.
how
I have bought Roland for people before.
Yeah, it's how you
It's
do
not
it.
being
Maybe they won't
disrespectful.
tell you about it, but that is how they go feel.
Well, we
Deep
still
down
we still
inside.
remain very good friends. I mean,
Well, yeah, I wouldn't be
I said
vexed
to
with
them,
you for that,
listen,
but I go feel disrespectful.
No, no, no,
I had a
you,
female,
Disrespected.
and it's all about how you do it. Sometimes you don't want.
yeah,
I have a female friend, right? And she had it really, really bad. And not that she don't use roll-on, not that she use perfume, but just her size. And of course, if you're a big person, you sweat more. You know. And she had it. And I said to her, you know, you really need to use a different style of roll-on. You know, and it still continues. So one day I bought a shore and I brought it for her. I said, try that and tell me how you feel after about a week. And she was like, wow, you know, even my clothes smell different. So, you know, sometimes it's not about being embarrassing the person or anything. But again, if you have good intention, if your intention is to embarrass the person, don't do it.
yeah.
If you have
Or
good
you could just
intention.
buy. You could buy two. You say, hey, I buy two roll
Exactly.
one for me. You know what I'm saying? And I have an extra one. I get two for the price of one. So
I don't think that's the best option at all either.
Buying two,
yeah, one for me and one for you.
No, that's not the best option.
You don't know that. I wouldn't do it like that. I'm
Elvin
just saying.
smart in a very funny way.
okay, let's move on. I don't want this to stay too long. So we decided we need to do email communication and etiquette because after receiving your assignments, it's clear that many of you don't know how to write a proper email. So you just send the assignment, not knowing who it's from, nobody in the email. So we're going to spend a couple minutes just doing email etiquette and what it is really governing electronic mail and how you rules to communicate appropriately and respectfully online. And let me just fast forward to this. Now, if someone does in the business world, right? If someone doesn't know you, they will judge you from your email. And I'm being very honest here because we do it every day. If someone don't know you and you send them an email, based on how you write the email, they would start developing a concept in their mind of who you are. Number one, the email address. The email address. Now, some of you all who have fluffyposts at gmail.com and vendetta at hotmail.com and those kind of emails, please change it and probably get a professional email. For those of you who plan to use your skill, probably your graphic design skill and your full stack skill in offering services to people, I would suggest that you put your name, you get an email address with your name, or if you have a business name that you're going to register your business with, you use your business email address. So for example, if you plan to do flyers and cards and whatever for people, you design an email that says probably javel.marcel@gmail.com, or if you want to call it spiceprint@gmail.com. Because some of the emails that you have, if you send it to people for jobs, if you send it for contracts, for whatever, they will start developing a concept of you that probably might not be true. So some people have the weirdest email that doesn't make no sense and very unprofessional. Good. Also, some people who use Gmail now have this thing where they can see your picture, like in this one. So please, if you're using Gmail, make sure that the picture you have that you're using on your Gmail is a professional looking picture. No half naked picture holding blunt or cleavage 19 degrees under your chest and those type of things. A professional looking picture that when people look at it, they can see that this person is a professional, right? So onto an email. So an email has some parts. An email has a subject line. So if you're going to send me an email, it has to have a subject line. What is the subject line of the email? And the subject line is really 3 to 4 words that condenses or summarizes the email that somebody can see.
Yes, I will say the subject as what is the email about and the person's name.
Right. Everybody see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yeah.
So an email must have a proper subject line. So of course you must have a receiver. So who you're sending it to? Then the subject line. So in your case, where you had to submit your assignment, the subject line should have read something like something like this. So somebody who's seeing the email would immediately pick up what exactly the email is about, right? So assignment reflection essay for January. This is a good. This is a good subject line. Greetings. Now, if you're sending an email, there are some people, depending on who you're sending the email to, the greeting would be suited for that person. For example, if you're sending a regular email to somebody that you don't know, most times you use good day, you use good evening. You try not to use good morning or good evening because depending on the time that the person received the emails might be different to when you send the email. So if you send me an email saying good morning and I read it at 9 o'clock in the night, it would kind of look off that you're telling me good morning in the night. So most times you use good day. Most times you use good day. Or since I work for government, we send a lot of emails to ministers, etc. So we use a lot of there. So dear PS, if the person is a permanent secretary, dear minister, if you're sending to a priest, dear Reverend, dear sir or madam. That could be the easiest. Dear sir or madam. Or some people like to call them, for example, if I'm sending an email to a minister, you use the suffix honorable. Right? So you get the drift. There are some people that have long suffixes, like if I have to send an email to the Prime Minister, right? So there are some people you have to know beforehand, if you're sending them an email, what exactly are you using to greet them? And there are some people who are very, very serious about that. So if you use the wrong thing, they'll get very upset. So I had to send a letter to the manager of SAS, which is the Archdeacon of Grenada. So his greetings was the Venerable Canon Archdeacon Michael Marshall. Right? So that's how you write if you're writing somebody who's an archdeacon. So he's the archdeacon for the Anglican Church in Grenada. So this whole thing you have to use. And if you don't use it for some people, they get very upset and start behaving in a certain way. So if you have to send this for your essays and so on, just send dear sir or madam. Because you might not know who might be reading it. I might not be reading it. It might be somebody from NTA, etc. Right? Then the introduction, if necessary. So for your essay, and sometimes it's good to add a little warm greetings, or you can add, hope this email finds you well. Hope this email, or for Christian people, people who are Christian, they like using this introduction. Right, so you get the gist, right? So depending on who's sending the email, they have different ways of greeting you and different ways of introducing the email. So this is typically an email you'll get from a Christian person, a religious person, or a religious church or something. They would normally send you these type of email. But for, let's say you're sending your assignment, you don't need to put a greetings. You could just say, hope this email finds you well. Now for assignments, it's you're attaching something. So you don't need to go any deep writing for your assignment email. You just simply say, please find attached. So this is simple enough. Please find attached my completed assignment. Right, so this is simple enough. This is a simple, very simple email that you send. So you shouldn't be sending any email that does not have a subject and doesn't have this. It really makes you look unprofessional, and people would start building a perception of you, of what you should, how you should send an email. So anybody want to give me something that I can type a email scenario? So I can type one as a example.
Well, I would say, dear sir.
No, I mean, give me a scenario that why I would send an email. I'll show you how to type it.
Give me a scenario why I will send an email.
No, give me a scenario for an email.
Oh. How about a letter to your boss for his pay?
For his pay?
Yeah.
Okay. So my boss would be the PS. This thing's sticking. Oh. Right to you. So,
I don't think you have a way to do that now. Since you're writing it as an email, just email it to elvinthomas@live.com. I will hold that still. I like the words. I don't know what is GOG or PWU.
Government of Grenada, Public Workers Union.
Right. So this is a email that probably I would send to my boss. I just see it. It has everything in it. The subject, who I'm sending it to, the welcome greeting, and I give the body of the email. Now you realize the email is very cordial, very to the point. He doesn't disrespect. He doesn't say anything about I ain't get me damn money for this month that y'all promised me. It speaks to what the issue, how we got to this point. So I write to you in reference to the recent salary negotiation between Government of Grenada and Public Workers Union. And as you are aware, there was an increase of 4% commencing February. However, I have not received the 4%. So I'm simply asking, and I say it in a nice, cordial way, I welcome your advice and counsel on this unfortunate circumstance. Simple. So you don't need to write any cuss word or email. No, what you realize from this email is it's written in proper English. So there's no you. Right? So you don't write emails using chat phrases and chat words. I know we get used to it a lot these days and we use it a lot, but please stay away from doing that. Please write proper emails when sending emails. Any questions about emails?
So,
I have one question.
Yeah.
Did you receive any bad email from any one of the members? That's why you're doing this? And I want to know if my email was real bad.
No, I didn't receive any bad emails. I received emails, but there was nothing in the email. So that's why we're doing this.
Okay.
So for example, somebody just went, they click compose, they put the email address and they just send.
Okay.
Right? So we're just saying to you that you don't just do it like that. You need to put,
touch.
right. So some rules for sending email. Remember that direct language can sound harsh in emails than in person. So as you see, I didn't say to him, well, I didn't get my money for February. What happened? What's going on? It was very cordial. And I tried to use stack. You use proper English, not spoken English. Don't assume that the reader would get a joke or understand sarcasm. So you never use sarcasm and jokes in emails unless you know the person really, really well and you have a relationship and you know what they would laugh to. Be thoughtful and respectable. Do not make demands, and you always choose your words properly. always assume that everything you write is a public document. And most times with email, it can be CC'd or it can be forwarded. So you might not be the only person. Sorry, might not be the only person that is reading the email. So I would send it across. So I know you're doing skills training, you're doing graphics, you're doing full stack. At some point, you want to be able to work with clients where you can do designs for them. So you're going to involve a lot of email. So if I send you an email saying, look, I understand, my friend told me that you do posters. I want the posters for so and so and so and so. You have to reply to that email. You have to reply to that email in a certain level of professionalism, right? So this is one of the reasons why we're ensuring that you understand good email. Spell check. As you saw, Google affords you the opportunity to check your spelling. So always make sure that you check your spelling. Right, so this is probably just a sample that we have here. Again, let me just see if I could pull up. No, it's not in this mail. No, it's not here. Any questions? So moving forward, when we get emails from you, we expect your emails to look like that. Any questions regarding emails? Now, the next one we're supposed to do, which is a very, very important one, but I realize we've gone past 4 and I don't want to keep people. It's Sunday. I understand everybody will have things to do. Was supposed to be this one. Social media etiquette. So can I have, probably by a show of hands, a person saying, do you think we can go on, or do you want to end here and do it the next time? Anybody else?
I don't mind.
Okay.
You should get
So let's talk social media. So some years ago, some smart people came up with the idea of communicating and socializing via a new form of media, which we know today call social media. So we have print media, which is newspaper, etc. We have visual media, which is TV, internet, websites, etc. We have audio, which is radio stations, blogs, vlogs, and all these things. Then we have social media where you can socially, right? So some of the most frequent social media platforms that we use in Grenada is Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter. No, we don't use Twitter much. We use Instagram, YouTube, of course. Anybody else know anyone that we use that I didn't mention?
Google.
What's that?
Google.
Zoom.
Google, but yeah. Google Plus is a social media platform.
Yeah.
Zoom.
Right. So the to put it simple, as somebody said it in a workshop that I attended, that the main benefit of, let's use Facebook as the main social media platform because that's the one I want to deal with. The main negative, the main positive of social media is that everybody has a voice. The main negative of social media is that everybody have a voice. So the negative and the positive of social media are the same. So what you have is the person you went to school with, who probably were in the same class with you, who were not too bright, who were involved in every fight, every cuss out session, was disrespectful, have no sense of reasoning, that person could simply go on Facebook and create a profile. Then you have the person who is sane-minded, who probably we like us, who educated, know right from wrong, could conceptualize, have critical thinking skill. We could create a Facebook platform, right? So you have two types of people on Facebook: those who supposed to be there and those who not supposed to be there based on societal standards. And Facebook and other social media platform offers no type of training for new users. So anybody just jump on it. Everybody does what they want. So social media is very different to growing up. Growing up, they would tell you about norms and standards, values, and ethics in doing certain things. However, they don't teach you that in school, apart from now they're now trying to do it because they realize Facebook and social media platforms are gone. So we all know what Facebook is. So I don't need to explain what Facebook is, what WhatsApp is. So we make friends on Facebook, and by right, Facebook was designed for friends, but it's no longer like that. There's some people who have no life in real life, so Facebook is their life. So they have 4,999 friends, and they only know 50 people in the friends list. But that's no problem because some people who don't have a life, they get a life on Facebook. But Facebook was initially designed so you can connect with your friends and you can share your stories and your life with your friends. But that changed over time, and you have people people adding you to look at your business, people adding you to friend, to flirt, people adding you for all the various reasons. But that's what it was set up for. Now status updates, which are not only synonymous with Facebook, but you have on Instagram and you have on WhatsApp, were designed to show thoughts, words, and deeds that's going on in your life. So things that you want to celebrate, things that you want to highlight, you show it on you show it on your social media platforms through statuses. But you have now, and this point is a very good point here. You have people have intentionally vague posts, chronic complaining, meaningless call to action, oversharing, and some people simply posting too frequently. And some people consider themselves to be meme gods. So every meme they see, they have to share it on Facebook, on Instagram, on WhatsApp, etc., right? That's not a problem. Now, how do you join your personal Facebook life to your professional life is very, very important.
I don't know if it's just me, but I'm not hearing it.
No, I stopped. Hold on. Right. So let's look at some posts. And probably before I go into that, I want to explain how social media has evolved to affect people's professional life. So I can tell you this as someone who has worked in human resource that most employers, about 95% of employers, not just in Grenada, but around the world, when you apply for a job, they would search for you on Facebook. 95% of them, because Facebook offers the opportunity to see you differently to what you said on your CV. So on your CV, you would sound like this nice, humble young man, educated. I mean, not well, too educated. You have 4 CXCs, you're humble, you put in your hobbies. I like cooking, cleaning, and making new friends. Then we'll search for you on Facebook and realize your profile picture is you holding a cutlass in one hand and a spliff in the other hand. That's totally different to what you said on your CV. Or you write a nice CV as a female. You put nice words. My hobbies are cleaning, cooking, making new friends, traveling. And then we go on social media and there's a picture of you in your bikini, cocked back with a duck mouth. That is totally different to what you said in your CV. Now, some people might argue that this is my personal life. You know, how I behave on Facebook, I might not behave like that in your workplace. But you have to also realize that we live in a small society where everybody knows where everyone works and everybody attaches your workplace to you. So what that means, most people know where people work before they even know their name. So you're speaking about somebody and somebody asking, who is that? I'm not sure who that person is. And they say, yeah, you know her, man. She working in Republic Bank. Most people know where you're working even before they know your name or know you. So because of that, companies try to advise employees that your social life and your professional life should have some sort of sync. It's your personal life. Nobody should tell you what picture is supposed up. Nobody should tell you, but it means that you just would not get a work in many places. You're just going to look at it. So there's no harm and there's no wrong in fixing your Facebook profile to look a little professional. Then again, if you're looking to do business and you send me or you put out an ad or you send me something saying that I could help you design your flyers and your posters, and I go to your Facebook page and it looks raggedy and strange. I mean, with a set of things sharing, or you share a whole set of videos that have obscenities, that are vulgar, that are, I don't think I want you to be doing business. I don't think I want to be doing business with you. Right? It sounds harsh, it sounds unfair, but that's the real world. That's the world we live in now, that people, employers and clients would go to Facebook to look for you. Then we have, I should have mentioned LinkedIn. LinkedIn is similar to Facebook for those of you who know it. LinkedIn is similar to Facebook, but is the professional side of Facebook. So those of you who don't have a LinkedIn profile yet, I would advise that you start a LinkedIn profile, get a very nice professional picture as a profile picture, and it allows you to list your experience, your qualification, and your skill. So things like graphic design, you can now put that as a skill, and people will see that. So if you want a nice professional profile, you can put in LinkedIn. Now, a lot of employers now ask you to send links to your profiles. They ask you to send your Instagram links. They ask you to send your LinkedIn link. Most business places would ask you to send your LinkedIn link. So as I said, I would advise you to do a LinkedIn. So by the end of this week, if everyone could do a LinkedIn profile and search for my name and send me a link for it so I can look at it and tell you what needs changing on it, right? So you can move forward ensuring that you're starting to build your whole professional profile. So that's very important, how you portray yourself on social media. So they said 24% of the posts posted on social media are intentionally vague posts meant to generate concern and attention. They call it vague booking. This is annoying, and I don't reply to them. So you have that a lot these days when somebody die, and they don't want to tell you who died because they want fames and they want friends. So they want you to inbox them or comment. So they put it up, oh my God, rest in peace. We're gonna miss you. That's it. So they expect everybody now to come and message them. Who dead? Who dead? Somebody in yours dead? Well, I don't message anybody. I wait until probably they realize nobody's studying them and they post who dead. Because this is called vague posting. Right? So you post something that nobody can decipher anything from it because you're looking for attention. That doesn't really make any sense to me and to a lot of people. Well, so please don't do that. And we have a thing these days. Yeah, some people are just waiting for somebody to dead, They're behaving like Lacroix. Before somebody dead, they seen a whole long book. They know the person, they don't know the person. It's all kind of drama. So look, Facebook is, Chronic complaining, including posting your personal woes, drama to solicit sympathy. I am fed up with my boyfriend. He takes me for granted. He so wanted to leave. Nah, that song ain't too nice.
Oh my
In
Lord,
Grenada,
and
it
them
don't song
niggas
nice
ain't
like
shit
that.
posts.
Exactly. In Grenada, it don't song so nice. I am fed up with my boyfriend. I'm done with him. He to stink. And they're giving you the whole story. A whole long post about the whole story.
But
About he
boys does do it
and
too. They
leaving
does
for
use
home.
social media to bash girls, and that is not nice.
Well, yeah, it goes both ways. It goes both ways. But complaining and personal frustration, I don't know why people still in 2020 put their personal business on social media. According to Les Brown, 80% of the people don't care And the other 20% glad is you and not them that going through whatever you're going through. So there is no reason to put your personal business on social media. And here I don't just mean Facebook, but I mean people don't do it much on Instagram because it's pictures, but your WhatsApp status also. You don't need to put all your personal business and what's going on in your life on WhatsApp as your WhatsApp status. Some people put in every single thing as a WhatsApp status. That's chronic complaining. Then we have 19% meaningless call to action. People that get involved in meaningless things on Facebook and they join the bandwagon. They call it the bandwagon. And there's a lot of bandwagonists in Grenada. Every issue that come up, you will see them on it. They are psychologists. If something come up involving child sex abuse, they are child sex experts. Something on carnival, they are carnival experts. Something on intercall, they are athletic experts. Everything that comes up, they have to be part of it and showing the 2 cents and showing the voice. And one of the things I should mention about social media, especially Facebook, is it's full of perception. Facebook acts with a lot of perception because there's a lot of fakeness that happens on Facebook. A lot of people live in fake lives. A lot of people putting up a front, make you believe that they're living this glorious life, and we're going to fete every fete it have in PF 57. I'm there because I'm making money, and they're broke like hell. They're borrowing to do it. So Facebook
And
have
they
this
don't live
fake
in no way.
perception and this fake life that people are living because they want to. I mean, we live in a society where everybody wants to impress everybody. So people live this type of. So they have a social media life,
Social media
and they have a real life. Please don't do that. We all out here suffering. We all have bills to pay. We all must be broke, and we all must catch your ass. We are Grenadian. We're not a rich country, right? So there's no reason to be pushing this kind of fakeness on social media because it's going to catch up with you. So there are some people who want to be a part of every fight. And people see your name coming up. They will see you as being somebody who just like to be involved in confusion. If I have to hire you and your name, and I see your name on a CV, and I remember you on Facebook, every fight you're there, chances of me hiring you are very, very slim, right? Because it's called joining the bandwagon. And as I said, social media is full of perception. So let me give you a recent example. So the whole issue with mass bans and SMC putting out the new release about banning tongues and wire bras, etc., etc. That was a big issue 2 weeks ago. And mind you, things don't last for long. 8 days and it disappears and a new issue comes up. So that was a big issue. So the perception is that SMC is wicked, SMC is bad, look, they put out these laws. But the reason why they had to do that is because of the same complaining by Grenadians of the manner in which females behave during the carnival season. And the need to satisfy these people, the need to satisfy the mother who takes her 2 young children to go to carnival and have to cover her son's eye because there's a masquerader in a little string covering half of a private part with half outside. The rules were really set to deal with those issues. Now, I'm a masquerader. I have played with summer crew for the past 10 years, right? And as a masquerader, I could tell you there are instances when I have to open my eyes and ask myself, what the hell is wrong with this girl? Because there are people who overdo it. So we can't deny that there are people who overdo it when it comes to those situations. So the perception is the whole of Grenada vex. Because look, SMC make this rule and everybody cussing, and I see people always saying, we're canceling we flight, we're not coming back for carnival because the whole of Grenada. I remember somebody said to me, boy, SMC need to relook this thing, boy. Nobody ain't coming. And I said to them, listen, social media does that to you. It gives you the perception that a wide majority or the majority of people in your country is upset about something. If you look at the mass bands, the biggest mass band is normally summer crew with 200 people. If you add 200 people to the other 5 or so bands that it have, it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. It's just about 1,000 people that play mass out of 100,000 people. 110,000 people. So the perception that the whole of Grenada vex is not really true. The Catholic community in Grenada alone, or the Adventist community in Grenada alone, is almost 20,000 people, 25,000 people. They're not vexed. But the perception that you get from social media is the whole of Grenada vex. And the reason for that is the minority are normally the loudest. So the minority are always the one posting every day, cussing every day, getting on every day. And I say all this to say to you that as young professionals, please don't try to join and get involved in the bandwagonist attitude that people in Grenada seem to have. There are issues and causes that you probably need to support. That if you want to comment, and another thing, not every comment you see you have to make a comment about. You can look at a comment and just go about your business. But some people feel they need to comment and cuss about everything. Things like the environment, things like child abuse, these kind of things that you need to be concerned about and making noise and issues about if you need to make issues about them. But not the civil, simple, trivial things. So, bam, we had a mass band launch last night, Oro or whatever the name is. And all of a sudden, the whole narrative changed on Carnival. You have people cussing now on Facebook which band is better. I mean, one band that launched, and people cussing now, this band gonna be better than that one, and that band gonna be better. But the thing about it is, Oro launched last night, and everybody excited, nice costumes, but then say the price yet. So when they say the price now, you go see everybody cussing them. Y'all too wicked, we Grenadians, we hard working people, and we poor, and all they want to charge $3,000 for a costume. So try not to get yourself involved in social media bandwagonism, because it's only going to frustrate you, and it's only going to make you look stupid as a young professional, right? Oversharing. 14% of people overshare. Jesus Lord. If you have an old uncle, and I believe they are the ones, say you have some young people, so, but the older people in your WhatsApp chat, in your WhatsApp contact, it's like they don't know what to share or what not to share. So they will send you everything that they get in that comes to the phone.
Exactly,
So
like
I have a
100 good
grand
morning posts. Gosh.
I have a grand aunt from 5:30 in the morning. She's sending good morning, Jesus is this, Jesus is that, that is that. She sent one the other day. I plan to block her, but I'm afraid if I block her, something serious might happen and I might miss the message. So that's why I haven't blocked her yet. But every single day she sends it. And I don't reply, but she sent one the other day that got me very, very upset. She sent one about garlic could cure coronavirus and kill her dead. She sent me this thing, Johnny, look at that. So I read the thing now. The thing say about if you boil 10 garlic and it could cure corona. And I said, listen, Santi, you're really playing the skin, I mean, you think if garlic could have cured the thing, so much people would have died dead in China? Eh? And I really got upset. But I didn't want to upset her because she thinks that she's doing her good. So a lot of people who do that, they think they're doing you a good. So everything that passes, they need to share it. Please, if you're guilty of that, stop that. There are some important things that you share. As you see in the group chat, I will share things like the corona, when we had number of issues with corona, vacancies, scholarship, those type of things. But not silly things like good morning. You already wake up, so you get up in the morning and you have 10 good morning texts telling you good morning. That's oversharing. And you don't need to overshare to annoy people, especially if you are a professional, because if you decide to do your own business and do your own designing and working for people, there is no way your clients would accept you sending them these things every day. So that is what the whole discussion is about, and in how you control your social media life while being a young professional.
So
Yeah.
if your employer is the one that's sharing the stuff.
Hello?
So if your employer is the one that's sharing the stuff.
I didn't hear them.
If your employer is the one who's sharing all those stuff.
Good question.
If your employer is the one sharing the stuff and it's related to work, well, first of all, you can go back. If the phone belongs to you personally and it does not belong to the employer, one. If the employer is sharing things that are related to you performing your duties, then probably it's not a problem. But if they're sharing things that really Does not make a sense. Like you have an old employer and they're sending you all these chain messages and all these things. You could probably tell them about it in a nice way. It's not what you do, but it's how you do it. You could probably even add a laugh to it and say, really, you really don't need to send me these things at them every day, you know. Or sometimes you can just be strict. I had one of my colleagues, a former boss of mine, will send you email and messages all over the day. All over the day, send you email and messages of things, and I had to put a stop to. I said, don't do that. You know, this is my personal phone. This is my personal email. After 6 o'clock, don't send me no work stuff. So you could do that, but of course you have to be very polite and respectable in doing it.
Okay.
Then we had the 10% of status. So you have some people who just post like that, and some of you are guilty of it. 12 or 3, chicken salad or tuna. Or in this case, Bakaneka turkey wings. So you're planning what you're going to cook and you're putting it up as a status. What should I cook today? 12 or 3, Bakaneka turkey wings. 12:12, okay, I'll cook chicken. Thanks for the responses. 12:30, mayo or mustard. Or in this case, stew chicken or baked chicken. Then 12:31, chicken wings or turkey. Listen, you don't need to do this, right? You don't need. As a matter of fact, the less you post, and you post probably once every day if you need to, or you post every 2 days if you need to. Now, for those of you who would be starting your own business, like your design company or your full stack company, building websites for people and all these things, you would be expected to make a Facebook page. So what we try to do is every day you post a content on the page to keep it active, to make sure people see and customers see it. And the only things you should post on that page are things relevant to what you're doing. So let's say, Ingram, you decide you want to do this full time. So you're going to be designing flyers, designing things for people, and you do a Facebook page. The only thing that should go on your Facebook page are your designs.
Yeah.
So you design a nice poster for a cruise, you post it and you say, I did this poster for so and so. If you want your poster get done, contact me. Things like that, right? That you could post regularly, but not every single 2 minutes, 5 minutes, even your WhatsApp status. 2 minutes. Well, I won't complain about the WhatsApp status because that's more personal. The people that will see your status are people you are allowed to see your status, right? But try not to do that, and it kind of makes you look vapid, like somebody who have no sense, really. So that was Facebook. That was social media etiquette. So all what this is saying is that you need to behave a certain way on social media, and you need to realize that Grenada now have laws that deals with electronic crimes and all these things. So you need to protect yourself, protect your family, protect people around you. So there is no need for cussing and bickering and getting on. And the use of obscenities, please. There is no reason for you to be using obscenities on Facebook. And nobody needs to know your business on Facebook. Nobody needs to know you fight last night or you didn't fight last night or you get a horn or you're at Tabanka, how long you're at Tabanka. Nobody needs to know these things. Good? So try to use Facebook and your social media platforms from today. Start seeing yourself as young professionals and you're using your social media platforms to make money because you could use it to make money. So try thinking in that direction that my Facebook page is to make money. So if you haven't posted on Facebook on your Facebook yet that you're doing a graphic designs course, then you need to do that soon. You're not boasting, but you're saying I'm doing graphic designs, and in a couple months from now, I'll be doing flyers, posters, blah 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 blah, and you're just preparing people for that because you're doing it to make money, right? So it doesn't make sense that you're hiding your skill when you plan to make money from your skill. Good. Then I just want to tell you quickly about this. No, this is a freelance site and it's called Upwork. And I worked on Upwork for 2 years between 2011 and 2013, working for a company that sold mobile apps. Now, what this site is, and we plan to do this as a project with the full stack people, is that you go on it, you build a profile, and you can do freelance jobs. So I think I still, let me see if I can remember my profile login. Right, so this is what Upwork looks like. So you build a profile, and then every day, employers would post millions and millions of jobs, and you apply for the jobs.
Where is
It's,
on Monday?
it's freelance jobs. So let me just try this. Right. So every day, millions and millions of employers would post jobs. They're looking for people. For example, in this case, I need a web designer. Anyone, some are real, some are not real. Some would hire you and don't pay you. Now, Peterson, let me just look at, sorry, let me go down. Here's a perfect one. So this one says this person is looking for a full stack web developer. What we're looking for, some with the following experience: React, Node, Storybook, App Engine, blah 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 blah. No, this one doesn't look real. How would you know if they are real and they're not real? Is because they have to have a couple stars here. Those like this one have all 5 stars, and you see they spent more than 5,000 US already paying people, and they're located in Malta. So once you see the stars, you know that that person is real. This person has no stars, so probably there is a bubble. Here is one. Web design and development for cabinet companies, looking for medium level web design specialists. Right, so as I said, every day, millions and millions of jobs, they post this. They're looking for freelancers, and you can work on this from anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world you can log on. As you see, United Kingdom, New Zealand, people all over looking for people. Because the skills you're doing does not require you to be in an office, it to force sit down in a stationary position. You can literally do this anywhere in the world. Just log on, go onto your computer and do this. That's what makes it so. So let's click on this one. Right. So this one will have the job specs. So the person says hours to be determined. They're looking for you to complete it within 1 to 3 months. And some may have preferred location. So they're looking for somebody from the United States, Canada, Poland, Mexico, etc. And it will give you a history of the employer. So this employer is located in the United States. They have posted 84 jobs. They have hired 65% of the people. They have spent almost 20,000 US on paying people for jobs. And the average they pay for the jobs is 17.15 per hour. So let's say you see this and then you go below. Let's say you see this and you're interested, then you submit a proposal. Sometimes they'll tell you you don't meet all the requirements based on where you live. But you submit a proposal saying, my name is so and so and so, I live so and so, I am skilled in XYZ and I'm interested in doing your project. Right, so this is one, a graphic design. And as you see, some people give you a lot of write-ups. Hello, we do a lot of very interested and from project. The designer must be willing to perform on high level. This is perfect for someone who can create design in PSD. Our team will provide instructions and requirements for the design as well as ideas. However, we are counting on you to be creative and create illustrations and communicate. And they give you some of the skills I expect you to have. Wireframes, you're supposed to be able to do wireframes, Adobe, web design, web redesign, illustration, icons, all these things. And of course, if you want to, oh, let me go to my, so I have an employer. You can either log on as an employer or as an employee. So I have an employer profile also because I hired people. I remember I was doing a project and I hired people from the Philippines to do this. So as an employer, you can go on and search for people from particular locations. So let me see who's on here from Grenada.
What I have so far with the huge character, like how the hand and the skull are looking.
Right, so we have a couple of people here from Grenada. So we have Danielle, she's a tutor. We have Astrid, a web developer. We have Andrew, I know him. He's a building designer. Kazim, a network engineer. So you have a lot of people here from Grenada. This one says an information technology graduate of TAMTC and developer, and he gave his website, etc. But like them and make no money, they have $0 on. Right, so you have a lot of Grenadians here, so you can do the same. Set up a profile. I thought that person was cut, you know. So you can set up your profile on here. A nice decent picture, it's a nice different poster. Let me see this person, Dwalan. So something like this. What? Very creative and open to solutions when working, a professional. He lives in Montrouge. But you rate hard, boy, $60 an hour. You ain't getting no. Right, good. So we understand. So this is, I think there's another one called Flickr. Flickr.
Alright, now we're gonna see your decks like the Tesla.
Right. So any questions on anything that we did today?
A quick rundown.
Somebody said yes. Somebody asked if you get paid. Yeah, that's what it was designed for, to get paid.
No? Oh, you like the green one.
So if I have a, let's say I want to design a logo and I'm looking for somebody and I bounce up his profile, I would invite him. I would invite him for the job. And it would have how much we'll pay you for it. They don't pay a lot because they have the people from India and the Philippines and so on here. They charge, like I used to get a poster done for $5 US. $5 US and $10 US. So there's people here who don't charge a lot because $5 US for us is like $13, but in the Philippines they're like $100 and something. So those people charge less and less. Good. Any questions on anything we did today or on this? Any general questions on anything? Any comments about today's session?
I still find cartel is
I didn't hear.
I find cartel is the worst.
Disagree.
All they have to understand something. All they cannot say cartel is the worst.
But Erwin
Wait,
come back
wait,
to
wait.
times.
All that we discussed today, you're still on cartel?
I don't
Yes, that was
understand.
the most interesting thing about today's lesson. I mean,
No. Cartel was not the worst. You have to understand. The man was not a liar. You have some men outside today. They lying for girls and promising girls things, and then they breaking their heart after. Cartel was
But
a
being
honest
straightforward about
man.
it doesn't make it better.
He was an honest man.
Okay, let's not get back
Hey,
into an argument.
I find Elvin have some qualities like Cartel because he really defended this Cartel.
no. But all you have to understand certain things in life. All you have to understand. The man was
Okay,
not a
before you argue, any final questions on anything?
No, I would say
No.
the session was good.
No.
Pointed out some stuff that should be of use to everybody. You know?
So,
Whether or not some might know already, but you know.
Okay, so you want to get a assignment to complete regarding email. So you can look for it in your email probably Wednesday. I'll let you know. Yes. Devontae, you have a question? Okay.
No. You'll be right.
Anybody else? Nika?
The session was good, sir. I learned a lot.
Yeah, the session was okay, but we must stick to the time because you see a lot of things about punctuality. I believe
Yeah.
2 to 4 is 2 to 4 because I
No,
had
no,
things.
but I did ask, and most persons said they didn't have a problem. So I wouldn't go past a session if I didn't ask. I asked.
Okay, well, I didn't hear. Sorry.
Yes. Okay, guys, thank you for joining. The next session will be in the next 2 weeks, and the 3 sessions after that will be on customer service because customer service is probably the biggest professional development part in the syllabus that you're supposed to complete. And it has, I can tell you now, for customer service, there's a group project that you have to you would have to complete that would involve you recording a skit, a customer service skit. So in your groups, you can start thinking about that. Probably 2 to 3 minutes, you would have to record yourself acting a customer service skit, a good customer service and a bad customer service. That have to go into your digital portfolio. So if no questions, guys, thank you for joining. Graphics, don't forget you have exams tomorrow. Please be on time and inform everybody in your group. The exam will not be repeated unless you have a situation that is really, really, really devastating that you can't attend, but exams tomorrow and exams on Tuesday. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
You too.
And Cartel is not the bad guy.
Hey!
Every bye. I mean.
However, how you get paid? We papa.
Anybody here that's watched anime? I want a nice anime to go and watch. I now finished watch Tokyo Ghoul. What's the next one to watch? Nobody? Nobody has watched anime?
Watch Kiss Exist.
Kiss Exodus?
Yeah. Why? Why are we kiss sexy? How come? How you know that? How you know that? Oh, okay. Kiss Axis come out in 2010 or 9. Or maybe 9. After I watched Kiss Axis. Just watch Kiss Axis.
Okay.
Hmm?
How them think I'm nice enough? So we're not all thing.
You go like Kiss Axis, you go laugh a lot.
What? I like anime with a lot of fighting and blood and chopping my head.
But that mean you watch Bleach already.
Huh?
I mean you watch Bleach already.
I didn't hear that.
I mean you watch Bleach already.
No. What I want is
Really?
Bleach? What is it?
Impossible.
Tell me what is it? again?
You like chopping and blood and head cut out and hair. You never watch Bleach? Bleach
BXC.
try wash. Bleach try washing clothes with.
Okay.
Now watch Bleach first, trust me.
Bleach. Okay, good. Okay. What?
You will like it.
Okay, no problem.
Well, your kind of thing.
Okay, good.
Chopping and blood and pause and
Okay, good.
chopping and
Good.
and your comedy too in it.
Okay, good. You have romance?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, good.
You have a bit of
I like to make romance. Okay, good. Just try. Good.
you will like Bleach, man.
Okay, good. Well, that's it.
Just shame to what they had to take it out. They didn't finish it. Yes, Jaja. Granted.